Hello again, my name's Bruce Clow. I run Ceracell Beekeeping Supplies. Today we're going to talk about processing beeswax. Here we've got an old pot that I picked up from a second-hand shop. Definitely don't use your wife's good pots. And we're just going to 1/3 fill it with water, and as it's starting to warm up we're just going to fill it with all the rubbish wax that we've been collecting over the season. And we're just putting it in there. As it melts down, add some more. We want to get it until it's just a couple inches below the rim. And we've got a really nice witch's brew coming here. And you can see how filthy it looks when we start melting it. And you can scoop off, as it's starting to melt down, scoop off some of the little dead bees and any bits of rubbish that come to the top. Just keep stirring it around because all the dirt will end up in the water. So now we let it cool down, and as it cools, it'll start to release itself from the edge. And then we're just going to dump that out. Here I'm doing it out in the garden, and the water will have most of the crap in it. Then we start scraping all the rubbish off the bottom of the cake. Here's our first processed block, and pretty happy, over 1 kilo. So what we're going to do is we're going to boil it down again in the water. So here's the wax cake after a second boiling, and we've gotten rid of 90% of the rubbish that was in the wax. Now, as you can see, we're going to start breaking it up, and we'll do it inside a box so the bits and pieces don't go flying everywhere, and it's well contained. So we just want to break it up so we can get it into these little pots that we're going to be using as a double boiler. You can see these pieces are pretty clean except for just that thin layer on the bottom. And yeah, we'll just put them in these pots. These ones are quite nice. They've got little pouring spouts on them. And we'll just let it melt down. It takes a little while, but we soon get there. So here we have 2 different styles of mold. I like these flexible rubber style molds. They are very easy to get the cake out of. Otherwise you can use, again, here I got a second-hand cake tin. It's very useful, but you'll find it's a little bit harder to get out. Once the wax has cooled in that cake tin, you're going to have to sit it in hot water to loosen it up to get it out of the cake tin. So we're going to use a strainer. Here's my wife's good one. I won't be using this one, but I've got another one that I got, again, from a second-hand shop. And we want to sit it in the hot wax to keep the metal nice and hot so that the liquid wax will just pour right through and won't solidify in the strainer. And here we are pouring it into the flexible mold. We can take a bit more in there, and this is going to be very good clean wax when we're done. Very few impurities will be left. Now here you can see how easy it is to get out of the flexible mold. In this case it's quite a good cake of wax with just a little bit of propolis sitting in the bottom. But that's a perfectly usable piece of wax, ready for coating your own frames or selling to Ceracell. We're very happy to take any quantities of wax.